Hey everyone, my name is Rae and we are here at Willow Gardens Yoga Studio in Buda, Texas, and I'm here with Kerrie, and we've been working on a series of short specialized videos for you to practice at home. And today's video is going to be on the spinal health, and so we'll work into the shoulders and the rib cage a little bit, but really it's mostly about the spine. So this is going to be a shorter video to basically try to enhance our spinal health. And it's something that you could do multiple times a week, even if you have any low back issues or spinal issues. All right, so let's get started. We're just gonna come seated for a moment here in an easy seat, stretch our body out a little bit, starting with some seated cat-cows. So I really like this variation of the cat-cow. We're just warming up the spine here, so you don't have to take it too deep. You don't have to be too intense with this warm-up. You can just move through slowly. So we're gonna inhale, lift the heart, look up, and then exhale, push back. So notice I'm not going super deep. I'm just warming up the body here. We're gonna move through 5 of these. And with each one, you can try to go a little bit deeper into the posture if you want. Just make sure that on the inhale, you're really lifting the heart. You're pulling the heart up. And on your exhale, you're dropping the chin, really rounding to the spine here. So nice spinal flexion in your cat. And then pull it forward for your cow, spinal extension. Make sure you're pulling the shoulder blades together and then press it back out like a scared Halloween cat. Really pull the shoulder blades apart, feel them burn. Let's do 2 more here. Exhale, press it back. Inhale forward, last one. Exhale back. Now from here, I want you to just rotate the spine around. And this is not really meant to be a super intense stretch or movement. It's really meant for you to use to check in with your body. So there's no wrong or right way to do this. I just want you to feel how your spine is doing as it rotates over the hips. Just in circles. Now let's switch directions and notice if it feels different on this side. Sometimes that happens with me. It feels really cranky going one direction, and in the other direction it's, awesome and feels amazing. So just feel that out and feel free to incorporate some shoulder movement into this if that feels nice to you today. Just sort of moving through this space, just a time to check in with the body, and then let's sort of shake that all out. All right, now from here, we're gonna scoot back on our mats a little bit. We're gonna bring our legs out in front of us, shake them out, get them nice and warmed up here. We're gonna bring the arms behind the head, so we're interlacing the fingers here. We're gonna take a big inhale, big exhale as you pull your ribs together, sternum to the spine, really connecting to that T-point here. Again, inhale, and you may need to bend the knees here. You can also open up your feet. So if it's difficult to get the spine straight, follow your breath here, big exhale. Now inhale one more time, then bend your knees, no problem. Okay, if you have tight hamstrings or any issues with the back. Now we're just working the spinal health now. So I want you to open up your feet a little bit wide, almost as wide as your mat, just a little bit more than hips width distance. Take an inhale, and then we're gonna exhale as we turn the body to the right, keeping the heels digging into the mat. And then bring it back to the center, and then take it to the left. Follow your breath here, back to the center. Now if this exhale to twist, inhale back to center isn't working for you, then reverse the breath. Inhale as you twist, exhale back to center, okay? There's really no wrong or right way to use the breath. It's just a matter of what's working better for you. So just feel that out. The most important thing here is to keep the heels digging into the mat and keep the hips straight. So we don't want to be rotating the body at all. We're just rotating the upper torso. So let's do a couple more on each side. Sit up nice and tall. Make sure you're bending your knees here if you need to. It's really not a problem to bend the knees. One more on each side. Back to the center. Notice Kerrie's breath is really prominent. She's really using that Pilates breath, pulling the rib cage together, hugging in that T-point on the exhale, and then she's coming back into the center. Now from here, we're just gonna take a nice stretch. So open your arms like wings, and then just take it down to the right. Try not to lift the left sit bone off the floor. Coming back to the center, over to the left, big stretch here through the ribs, through the side body, coming back to the center. Now just drop your chin. Let's stretch out the neck a little bit. Try to keep your spine straight here. Bend your knees if you need to. And press the hands a little bit into the back of the head. Nothing too hardcore here, just a tiny bit. And then we're gonna stretch it up. We're gonna look up. Big opening of the shoulders here. Nice, so hard, right? Bring it back down to the center. Let's do that one more time. Stretch it to the right. Pull the left elbow up and back. body to sit up nice and tall. Coming back to the center, just fold the head in, keep the spine long. Coming back up, open it up. Big shoulder opener here, pretty intense. Coming back to the center and release the hands and just shake them out a little bit. Yeah, that's really hard, right? Yeah. Just sitting up tall for some people is really challenging. So again, please bend your knees if you need to. If you have tight hamstrings, it's really not a problem. All right, now from here, we're gonna bring the arms out in front of us. New spine stretch. So this one's a little bit challenging to do correctly. So we're gonna walk through it slowly and then we'll move through some a little bit more quickly. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to keep the same distance between the hips and the ribs as you're peeling one vertebrae at a time off the wall. So Kerrie's gonna demo this nice and slow. She's just gonna start to peel the vertebrae one at a time off the wall, keeping the same distance between the hips and the ribs. Stretching long like you're reaching over a coffee table or like a big beach ball is underneath your arms. Now she's gonna just peel it back onto the wall, keeping that same distance. So if you need to go to your wall to do this stretch, feel free. Big inhale here, peel off the wall, nice and slow. Good, inhale, stretch, and then exhale, bring it back. Let's do 3 more, just like that. Inhale, exhale, come off the wall, keeping the same distance. You're hugging your navel in, body sort of like a candy cane. Inhale, stretch, and then exhale back. Reaching over that coffee table. Inhale, exhale, peel off. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, bring it back. So notice we are not collapsing, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. I'm going to show you what not to do. Last one, inhale. Now, collapsing here, if you have super open hamstrings, not the stretch. This is not what we want. Stay high, over the coffee table, same distance between your hips and your ribs. This is really good for spinal articulation. Really important exercise. It's just not always easy to do properly. Now open up your feet just a little bit wider. Open up your arms nice and wide here. So I'll go ahead and scoot up so that you have more room. So your feet are a little bit wider, arms are wide. You can see your hands in your periphery vision. You're gonna take an inhale. You're gonna twist around to the right. Good. And then you're gonna saw off your pinky toe 3 times. Ha, ha, ha. And up, back to the center, over to the left. Sawing off the pinky toe on your left foot with your right finger. And back to the center. Let's do 5 on each side. So that's saw. So this one is also really great for spinal health. And it's also really awesome to stretch out your hamstrings, especially right in that hamstring glute connection, which for some of us is so tight, especially if you're an athlete. So just feel this out. It should not feel easy. And notice when she's rotating here that her heels are digging into the floor, right? So her heels are not shifting as she's moving and her hips are not shifting back and forth. So this is really hard, and if you feel your heels moving, that's okay, don't worry. Just try to keep them grounded and still during the exercise. So just a couple more on each side. So just really stretch it out here. Maybe go a little deeper into that stretch now that you're warmed up a little bit more. Last one here, back to the center, over to the right. Now for this one, we're gonna hold. So saw it off, 3 breaths. And then just hold it here, hold the stretch, and pull the right arm back. Pretend like I'm taking your hand and pulling the arm back toward whatever wall is behind you. Reaching and stretching through that shoulder. Really intense. Slowly bring it back up to the center, over to the other side. Saw off that pinky toe, 3 breaths here. We call it the ha breath in Pilates, like we're laughing, yeah, and then pull that left shoulder up and back and feel if the left side feels different from the right. It probably does. It's either looser or tighter. That's normal for the body. One more time, pull the arm back, open up the shoulders, and then slowly come back into the center.
So I was just going to mention something. This shoulder is a little bit wonky for me. So sometimes I actually turn the hand back this way when I make that stretch.
That's a great suggestion. So she's saying for her, internally rotating the shoulder here and flipping the hand allows her to get more mobility into the shoulders. So if you do have tight shoulders, you can try that modification. That's a really great one. All right, just relax here a little bit. So a lot for the spine. Shake out the legs, shake out the feet. Just take a moment. And then when you're ready, we're gonna bend the knees. We're gonna come up to roll like a ball. This one's really fun, but if you do have any spine or neck issues, especially any bone issues in your spine, make sure that you don't roll back, okay? You can stay upright and you can just keep your core nicely engaged. So So you're gonna bring your hands down around your ankles here, and you're not really like, you know, we're not holding on for dear life here, right? This is a loose grip here with the legs, and we have a curve in the spine. So we're allowing the spine to round as we roll back. So she's gonna roll back, and I'm gonna talk you through it so you can try it. Roll back like a ball. She's rolling back to the shoulder blades, and then she's coming back up. She's using the ha breath to stop without letting her feet touch, okay? That's the goal. Inhale, now roll back onto the shoulder blades and curl back up. Very nice. Now straight spine when you get up, sit up nice and tall, and then round down. So you can round down one vertebrae at a time, rolling onto the shoulders, and you're using that HA breath as your break. So let's do a couple more here. Go ahead and try it. It's pretty fun. If you don't catch yourself with your ha breath, that's okay. Just giggle through it. It's just Pilates, no big deal. Try it one more time. Roll back. And then bring it back up. Try to catch yourself. Try to hold here. Now let's take a leg stretch here. Stretch your right leg out. See if you can straighten it out. She's pretty flexible through the hamstrings. So for sometimes for me, I need to bend my knee here, and that's also fine. And then you can see what happens. You can also have the arm back, and then see what happens when you try to straighten your left leg. Notice if this one's tighter or looser. That's also normal. And then bring it back in, and let's see what happens when we open up the legs and try to stretch through both legs. She's very flexible, so she's very capable of doing this and holding the balance. But if you need to bend your knees, or if you're falling out of this, no big deal. There's lots of modifications here. And then when you're ready, we're gonna come back to roll like a ball. Now we're gonna show you a more advanced version, so you can go back to the regular version, and then you can also try a more advanced version if you want to. Now the more advanced version of this particular posture is that you're gonna bring your knees together, and then you're gonna bring your elbows to the knees. The more advanced is hands on the face like this, but I'm not able to get myself back up keeping that connection. So we're gonna try it, and we might giggle a little bit too, but that's okay. So you can try this more advanced version, or you can go back to the level 1 version that we just demoed and try that one and just try to perfect that one, getting those feet off the floor when you land. So let's roll back, and then roll up, stop, don't let your feet touch. Yeah, there you go. Again, exhale back. Or inhale back, exhale up, there you go, nice. It's kind of fun, here we go. Just to the shoulders, not to the neck. Ha, breath gets you up, stop, don't let your feet touch. Now maybe you try to connect the hands to the face here. See, I lose that connection every time. One of these days, it'll happen, we just have to keep practicing. So try another one, and then we will move on. So fun, right?
And then I also try to do it this way sometimes with a flexed foot and really pulling my heels in, because we really want to try to keep that connection with the back of the legs, squeezing in. So sometimes I'll work on this, trying to keep that in and using my breath.
Breath. So remember your breath, that's your breaks. Very nice. Good demo. All right, bring those legs straight out in front of you again, shake them out. We're gonna roll back, and then we're gonna flip around on our belly and do some McKenzie exercises, some more things for the spine here. So we're gonna bring the arms out in front of us, sit up nice and tall, take an inhale, and on the exhale, we're gonna curl down. One vertebrae at a time, nice and slow. Take another inhale. Exhale, curl down, nice and slow. A little bit more, inhale. Exhale, go down. Last one here, inhale. Don't let your feet lift up, and lower down all the way. Just take a little rest here, take a moment. I like to do this windshield washer with my feet here, or my knees, so you can open up your feet nice and wide, and then just let the knees go side to side. This is releasing the hips, releasing the low back. Should feel really nice. And then let's take the knees into the chest. Give ourselves a really nice hug here. We're gonna take one of my most favorite stretches. It's really great for the low back. Feels good on the spine. So I want you to extend the left leg long. Pull the right knee toward the chest. If it feels good to you, you can also pull the knee to the right shoulder, stretching through the psoas, stretching through the low back. And this is a really important stretch anytime you're going to do any back bends or spinal extensions. So that's why we're using this stretch here to just sort of prepare our body to do some extensions. And then bring the left knee back in, extend through the right. This posture is also great for your digestive system, really good for mobilizing energy up and down and across your gut. Maybe it feels good to pull the knee up to the left shoulder. If that feels nice, then go for it. Stretching through the psoas on the left side, and then bring the knee back in. And the last one, we're gonna try to wrap the arms around the shins here. Maybe you grab your opposite elbows, try to keep your spine long. So you're tucking your chin here a little bit, you're looking forward. You're trying to keep your sit bone or your sacrum grounded here. And breathe. Very nice. Now from here, I want you to take your hands, put them behind your legs. We're going to roll up, get some momentum, and we're going to come across the knees into a tabletop position. So let's do it. Have some fun with this. Get some momentum, and then roll up and over the knees if you can. If you fall on your booty, that's okay too. Now here, let's move through a couple cat-cows, releasing the spine, releasing the low back. We've already done these, but now we're in a tabletop position. So again, there's no right or wrong way to do this. So just open up the spine and just check in here for a moment before we move on to the belly. From here, I want you to come into a high plank, pressing back onto the balls of the feet. You can be on your forearms or your knees, and we're going to take about 10 seconds to lower down to the belly. So pull your sit bones together, pull your ribs together, sternum to the spine, elbows in, and lower down all the way to the belly, nice and slow. Got 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Now open up your feet to a V. Bring your fingertips right to the deltoids and just lift up. Like a little baby cobra in yoga. And then bring it down. Okay, we're going to do 2 more just like that. Inhale up. Working the strength of the low back here. Exhale down. 1 more. Inhale up. And exhale down. Very nice. Now, bring your arms back by your side. Rest your left cheek on the mat and just take a breath. Relax. These spinal extensions are working the muscles in the low and middle back, but that doesn't mean they're easy just because you're on your belly, right? You're going to get your heart rate up a little bit here, okay? All right. Now when you're ready, we're going to come back into that same position. I want you to make sure your quads are so contracted that your kneecaps are lifting off the floor. Now take an inhale. Big deep breath in. Lift up, okay? Now you're going to hold here and just work the muscles in the low back. Maybe even try to hover your hands. Did you fall back down or did you stay? You can use some hand strength here, but pull the elbows in. Kneecaps are lifting. Trapezius muscles showing. Looking forward, head long. Inhale. And exhale. Much harder, right? Also working into the shoulders. Rest your cheek down and just breathe. All right, 1 more here. Open up the shoulders a little bit. Bring your hands back right where they were. This time we're going to lift up. We're going to hover the hands off the mat. We're going to reach the arms back behind us, interlace the fingers, and lift up. Pull the chest up, opening the shoulders, really working into the back. Feels so good. Nothing easy about it. Kneecaps are lifting. Inhale. Exhale, come down. Now bring the arms to a cactus. Goalpost. Hover goalpost here. And lift up. And then bring it down. Good. Now bring the hands underneath the forehead. Here we go. Lift up. This one's hard. And bring it back down and just rest. Now this is getting us prepared for swimming here. So I'm going to let Kerrie begin while I talk you through it for swimming. And there's a couple different variations of swimming. So what we're going to do first is just start slowly. She's going to lift the right arm and the left leg off the floor at the same time. And then she's going to switch. And switch. And switch. So notice she's keeping the hands connected to the floor when she switches. So you can try this, a couple more on each side. Everything's nice and strong. She's squeezing everything. Her booty is tight. Her belly is up. Her booty is down. Her pubic bone is in the mat. Pressing. Now she's going to take it to the next level. She's going to lift up. She's going to swim just like you're swimming through the swimming pool here. Everything nice and long. Her head is long. She's taking the wrinkles out of the back of her neck here. And release. We're going to do that one more time. So take a breath. It's really hard. I kind of made her do that for a long time. So join her for the next one if you were just watching. All right. Just let her breathe. If you want to take that windshield washer again here, this is a great place to do it. On the belly, it feels really nice. All right. Next up, swimming. You take either variation, level 1 or level 2. It's up to you. When you're ready, we do 10, 9, 8, and now she's transitioning into the full swim for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower down, take a break. Yeah, that was really hard. You have to make sure you're breathing during swimming because swimming is really, really challenging. All right, and we're gonna move into swan next, one of the more challenging of the spinal extensions of those McKenzie exercises. Our spine's nice and warmed up, so we're gonna press up just like we did in that cobra pose, and then we're gonna come down and let both legs lift off the floor. The elbows in, lift up and down like you're rocking, lift up and down. Now get some momentum, and if you want to, you can start to release the arms out in front. Kerrie's going to demo, and she's using only the muscles in the low back to allow herself to rock. So let's try it 2 more times. You don't have to bring the arms out or release the arms at all if you don't want to. You can just stay right where you are and just work on the rocking using the hands, also fine. The last one, lift up, rock, and breathe. Make sure you're breathing. She's using the muscles in the low back to give herself momentum to rock. So hard, right? Take a little windshield wiper one more time. And then let's press back into a child's pose, stretch our back. Hang in there, everybody. We're almost finished. We just have a couple more exercises here on the belly. Breathe it out. Big inhale. Exhale. Very slowly come back onto the belly here. Now we're going to come up onto the forearms for this one, and we're going to interlace the fingers together. We're going to do some single leg kicks. So this is also working not just the spine, but the glute hamstring connection. So this one is a little bit challenging to really get that connection. So Kerrie, you might have some suggestions on this one as well. So lift your kneecaps up off the floor and squeeze your booty. Press your pubic bone into the floor and pull your ribs together. That's the first thing. That's like 10 things, right? You have to remember all of those things so hard. Shoulders down away from your ears.
Really traction your elbows towards the body.
Elbows tractioning close to the body. Now we're going to kick with the right foot 2 times. Kick, kick, and extend. Left leg, kick, kick, and extend. This should not feel easy. So she's going to keep going. You do it with her. Kick, kick, extend. And she's really connecting here with the glute hamstring. And this is what we want to be happening in this posture. 2 breaths, extend. 2 breaths, extend. Really feeling this in the glutes, feeling it in the quads, feeling it in the low back. Really great exercise for spinal health. Let's do 1 more on each side. Really stretching the toes long here as you extend the leg back, almost like your feet are lifting off the floor and not touching the floor. Nice. All right, now we're going to take these into double leg kicks. So for double leg kicks, you can stay on the forearms if you want to, but the full expression of this posture is bringing the hands behind the back and then taking a shoulder stretch, which is one of the reasons that we did that when we were practicing our cobra. So for this one, you're going to rest one cheek down on the floor, bring the hands behind the back. Now, booty down, belly up, ribs together, sternum to the spine, pubic bone pressing into the floor. Kneecaps are lifted here, and then we're going to kick, 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 and extend. Come up. Kick, kick, kick. Extend, kick, 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 extend, kick, 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 extend. Let's do 4 more. Kerrie will demo as I talk you through. Just keep lifting up, and again, you don't have to have the shoulder part in the series. You can keep your arms flat on the floor or underneath your forehead, but the kick, 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 inhale, extend. Good. Kick, 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 extend, kick, 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 extend. This is the last one here. Kick, 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 and extend. Very nice. Come down and just rest. We have 1 more posture here. This is sort of a big one, but we've done everything to work up to this big spinal extension here. It's a posture that we do a lot in yoga, but it's a little bit different when you do it in Pilates. It's not quite as deep. So it's like a rocking horse. You're going to reach back and you're going to try to grab both of your feet here. If you're unable to grab both feet, grab 1 foot, no problem, okay? You can do it both sides. And then you're just going to lift up, lift your chest off the floor, keep your legs down, and then just rock forward, get the thighs up, And rock back, chest up, and just rock. Like a rocking horse. Make sure you're breathing. And you'll know when it's time for you to come down. Yeah, windshield washer your leg. That's a big one. Really good for spinal health. Press it back, child's pose. Open up your knees here. Let's get into the hips a little bit in this child's pose. Should feel really good. Straightening the arms, we'll get more into the shoulders, even tensing up onto the fingers to press back. Should feel really good. And just stretch it out. You can also bend the arms. You can do whatever you want here. And now we're going to tense up onto the fingers and pull the knees together, and notice bigger stretch through the low back here. We're going to bring the arms back down by the side. Grab hold of your feet here and just pull. You can tuck your chin here if you want to. Get a little throat compression there. Just make yourself really small. A little spinal extension, small like a ball. And then we're just going to hang on to those feet. We're going to roll up one vertebrae at a time, all the way up, nice and slow. And you are all finished. Nice work. How do you feel?
Good.
Yeah, I'm a little sweaty. So
I'm a little sweaty.
Nothing easy about the spinal work, but it does take work to keep your spine nice and healthy. So good for you for giving it a go. And you can always email us or message us if you have any questions or if you need modifications. It was so good having you today. Thank you, Kerrie, for helping. Namaste. Signing off from Willow Gardens Yoga Studio in Buda, Texas.